Greetings there, everyone. It is I, Toxic Terror 86, and of course, I'm here with my good buddy. Uh,
Mega Sheep 13.
yes. It's been a little bit since he's been back to school, and so I thought I'd bring him back in to teach him a thing or two, because as he keeps telling me, he's not too much on a redstoner person. So today, we are going to be working with his family members. I am redoing my wool farm. The last tutorial I did was bedrock, which it still works the same. But again, we're on our server right now and going to build a wool farm up. This is pretty much everything you need. Some quantities may not be correct as far as glass or your building materials or anything like that, because that's going to be all according to how big you want to build it. Now, first thing you need to do is have your observers and find out exactly where you want this farm to be built. Now, in this case, I've already got this area right here cleared out. Now, when you place an observer, the redstone signal's always coming out facing you, and the observer faces the block away from you. This is important to note because you want the sheep to stand in front of the observer's face. So in this case, I need to get my observer, and you want to bury it one block in the ground. Now you may have to crouch when you place it. Otherwise, if you don't, and I hate super efficient. If you don't crouch, well, that one I didn't need. If you don't crouch, sometimes when you place it, it can, even just regular netherite without 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Even regular netherite shovels without any type of efficiency is OP sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are 16 different colors, if you did not already know that. The way I like to do my farms is I like to run 8 on each side. If you really wanted to, you could run a line of 16 straight. Or you could just do a group. And you don't have to actually have every single wool color, but you never know if you're going to need it. Now, on the top of the observers, you need to place a dispenser facing towards the sheep. Now that way, these will hold the shears for when the sheep eat the grass. The observer observes the change and will send a redstone signal out. Now, I personally, I like to break the dirt behind the observer, and I forgot to grab my build blocks. It always, I did not want that yet, but I'll put it back in a second. That way I can see the build more properly. Um, Now, on top of each of these blocks, a piece of redstone dust will be placed. I normally don't place the redstone dust until the end, only because it can mess things up as far as if you accidentally drop water or anything like that. Now, you need to make a safe spot for the sheep. 2 blocks tall in each direction. Now, you need to make
Yes, so they
sure.
won't escape.
The what?
So they won't escape.
Well, it's that way it keeps them in place right in front of the dispensers. Otherwise, they
Uh-huh.
eat grass away from the dispenser, then the farm does not work. Now, there are some farms that will have, like, say, 3 of these dispensers right beside each other, and we'll have, like, just a group, like 2 or 3 sheep in here, and no matter which grass block, it'll shoot all 3 off. And you can, there's a lot of different things you can change about this to make it your own. The important thing is to make sure to use some type of glass. Glass will not interact with the grass, changing it into dirt, which will, of course, allow the farm to continue working. Now, another thing is, for grass to work, it needs a light source. So you can use any type of light source you want. I personally, depending on where you are in the game, I've used glowstone. I went to the nether and done shroom lights. You can build this up 1 block higher, and after you get the sheep into their pens, you can put lanterns above their head. It's just important that you have some type of light source. That way this grass will grow. Now, of course, during the day, it's going to grow, no problem. But at night, it won't unless you got light. And if you were to build a big building around this, then there wouldn't be no light. So, of course, definitely got to have a light source. Next thing is we've got to get the sheep into this pen. Now, you can do that anyway, but let me knock sheep back a second.
Just ask to move.
Yeah, I know. But what's the fun in asking you? It's better just to knock you senseless. Best thing to do is just make some kind of little bridge up here with, some temporary blocks. Now, of course, it does get a little tricky. Hopefully you have more, but you only technically need 1 piece of wheat. Now, I like to use this double-gated method, and I accidentally just bred the sheep instead. That's okay, because we're on the server, and I have Tom Simple Storage, so I can access my inventory, and I have exactly 1 wheat left in my storage system. I like to use this double method because sometimes when you're dealing with these, when you open this first fence, you might get 5 or 6 try to flood out at once, and that makes things a little complicated. By using this double method, you can hopefully just get just the one you need in. And if you're... Now I gotta go a long way around, and hopefully sheep don't jump down there. Ideally, you'd have more than just, the few little basic blocks that I have. Now, if you're working with somebody, they can always kind of help you corral the sheep. But it is possible when you're not to just kind of knock them in. And sometimes it's a lot easier if you just go ahead and... Naked, you mind jumping off? You can place down some temporary blocks like that. When you work with somebody, they can easily then guide them into the hole. Now, I always take a trapdoor and boom. Now, of course, I wouldn't need these anymore unless I was just going to keep them up there. And you just pretty much have to continue doing this. So, yeah. Naked.
Yes.
You want to try to guide some sheep up here?
Sure. Got some wheat.
Now, I got 1 piece of wheat. That's all we had in our inventory. We are poor. We are
I got
poor.
a lot more than that, but
Yeah, well, you should have access to your inventory. You've got the advanced wireless terminal too, so. And of course, that's part of the Tom Simple Storage mod. I'm trying to make a little bit of a pathway here to make it easier to start getting these sheep up here. And again, you don't have to keep these blocks above the glass. You definitely don't need them below the glass, but you can remove them once you're done. Which, hey, oh, well, you got 2 of them. And see, he got
That's
lucky,
fine.
only 2. If I can get around this sheep, I can then lock that one, and then he can bring the other one over to another pod. Oh. Okay, he went completely over the hole. Okay, you're going to have to get him off the bricks. He's... There he goes. Alright.
Expert. You do realize this, right?
Well, I don't have... My family members aren't sheep like yours, so... Let's get that little bit.
Whoops, I accidentally got one.
Oh. You
Okay,
fed
hold on.
That's why it's actually good to have more than just one piece of wheat, because you will accidentally feed them and stuff. There's no way around it. And you're going to tell me, and I misplaced that one. Let's just get a few pieces. And I still didn't get enough. I did this time, though. Alright. Like I said, you can do this by yourself. It just takes a little bit more. And you don't have to go from side to side. You can fill one whole side up and then go start on the other. If you really want it to go a little bit, he just needs to be pushed back towards me. A little bit more. There he goes. And then, in you go. And the other one's running away.
I'll go get him. Come here. Come here, Uncle Bob. There we go. Come on.
Now, once they're in the hole, they can't climb out. So while he's getting the last ones in, I am going to go ahead and start working on the chamber. Now, of course, the grass level right here is the level that the sheep are standing on. So the collection needs to be 1 block under it. And of course, you need to go down here and clear out quite a bit. Now, I always end up clearing out more land than what we absolutely need. Only because I like to decorate. And if you don't like to decorate, you don't have to clear out a whole lot. But if you're like me, and you like to decorate your builds and stuff, then it doesn't hurt to clear off more. And of course, this is also going to be determined on how much wool you think you're going to need, how many shears and stuff you're going to supply the farm with to know how big of a collection area you need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, what a rare treat. Now remember, as I did mine, there's 8 on each side, so I know that I need to go until I rebuild at least 8 of these stone brick observer combinations. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, 8 has been uncovered. And I've got enough room for some decoration down here on the back. Now you gotta be real careful. Normally when I'm clearing this out, and I don't know why I didn't, I normally go ahead and place torches down to keep this place from getting so dark. And for whatever reason, I didn't do that this time. So let's go in my inventory. And yes, it is not lost on me that I could have just easily popped open that inventory to get the dirt I ran over there and marked up a while ago. I probably absolutely should have, but I didn't. It is crazy how a unenchanted netherite shovel can just eat through dirt so efficiently.
Yep.
Okay, let's get this back corner. How's the sheep coming along up there?
Pretty good.
Now, no, y'all are not seeing things. These are not rails. These are railed ladders from Chipped. So, yes, they look like rails, but they are actually ladders. So, that does not work out right.
Oh.
Now, of course, when it comes to organizing your sheep, you can organize them however you think you need to do it. Me, I tend to... And I jumped in the hole again. I don't know what's going on. It's like I can't jump today. I tend to group mine by colors. In instance, I'll have a white, and yes, I know this sheep's already white. Then I'll have black right beside white. Then light gray and gray. Yeah, we still need the other 8 sheep. Lime next to green, light blue next to blue. Are you okay there, sheep? I think he's frozen. Well, while he's having technical difficulties, let's see here. I need to get chest, hopper, the actual rails, and then mine carts. Also, building blocks. Always got to have building blocks. And because I love them so much, a stack of verdant frog lights. Okay. Now, the collection has to be built under the block where the sheep is standing. So, it's important to make sure you know exactly which block that is. To make this. Now, I like to make sure I have plenty of room. Just like that. Now you start with your chest. Now I should actually, since I'm walking backwards, do this. Now I place at least a double chest. Only because, especially in this instance where it's inside the spawn chunk, it works more and such. But you can expand it, and that's why I always leave this 3 wide gap in between, because then I can hopper chest into another and make another double chest. But then you're going to want to take and put a hopper above each chest. Now, of course, basic, y'all should know, but just in case you don't, you have to crouch when placing a hopper on top of a chest. Otherwise, it just opens the chest instead. Now, each hopper needs a rail. Now, I like to place my rails sideways. It really doesn't matter. And just like the same rule with the hopper in the chest, you have to be crouching when you put the rails on top of the hopper if you're actually targeting the hopper. If you're targeting the block, then you don't have to crouch. But if you target the hopper, you will have to crouch. Otherwise, it'll open up the hopper's GUI instead of letting you place a rail. Now, the reason I do my
Yep,
rail... Oh, he's back.
I'm back.
Now,
Come
the
on, Steve.
reason I do mine sideways is so when I put the hopper minecart, the minecart doesn't roll. Now, a lot of people will go ahead and break out the rails and no longer keep them under the minecart. Me, it's just some sticks and iron, and if you got it, I would suggest just leaving it, just in case you ever do have to come back and make changes or anything happens. The rails are already here. It doesn't affect how well the farm works one way or the other. But with the hopper minecart still on the rails, locked in between the blocks, then they can't really go anywhere. So, then I like to bring my lights for the last bit of it. Now, some people, I mean, you can do this 500 ways. I mean, you can take a piece of wool once it starts working and put a piece of wool up there so you know what's going on. But this is literally the whole collection. That is all it takes to make the collection area. Now, let's see here.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah, there's one side.
And I just realized something too. Again, it's so glad to be able to have Tom Simple Storage, because if you forget anything, you can open up your advanced wireless terminal and grab it out. Let's see here. We got cyan, brown, yellow, and orange. And again, trapdoors on top. Now while he goes to work on them, I will start by putting redstone. Now as long as you don't put the shears in, putting the redstone down isn't going to matter. But once you start putting shears in, then what's going to end up happening is they're going to start shearing, and of course you don't need that to happen unless you've already got the sheep dyed. Otherwise, what will happen is you're going to have to go back and take out the shears just to be able to dye the sheep. So let's just go ahead and clean up this side. And you can do as many as you want to. You can put 9 in here. And if you really want it to last longer and you got the levels, you can get Unbreaking 3 and put Unbreaking 3 on all the shears. And that will make it last so much longer. But again, if you've got a decent iron farm, then it's just iron. So you really don't need to worry about anything. Let's lock pink and red in. Woohoo! There goes magenta. 1, 2, 3. Now all we need is one last sheep. The Twisted Special.
And get
in the hole.
there we go.
And now we'll put a shear in for him. And now you don't need any of these temporary blocks. So you can clear through all of that. And that's it. I mean, that's the farm. As they eat, then they'll start being sheared. And like I said, you can get the wool out of here. Some people might break the frog light and put the wool above. Makes sense that the hopper and hopper minecart caught that wool. I like to leave my light. Some people will instead choose to, and I've done this method too before, put a piece of wool in the floor in front of the chest. It will identify what it is very easily, and again, no big deal. But either way, no matter how you decide to decorate it, it's all up to you. Now, I tend to always like to get signs and such and dye them the color of the wool, which is why I had 2 of each. And sometimes the farm don't want to start. You can just go in here and manually shear them to try to kickstart it. And I don't know what it is with my character not wanting to jump today. Sheep.
Yeah.
Here. Shear this one right here, Mr. Black. He's the only one that's not sheared yet. Now, if you remember which way you do it, then it's a lot easier. Me, I just put a sign right here, and like I'll say, this one is white. I'll in turn find the white dye, blow it, and mark it. And then I know I always put black right beside white. Now black is already black, so using black dye on it, it's going to look like that anyway. Now here I might have to look, okay, that's light gray. So I'll mark this one as light gray, but then that tells me the one right beside it is In fact, just regular gray. Now I like to mark mine like this because it makes it so much easier when you're coming down here. Makes it look nicer in my opinion, but again, everybody has their own way of marking these. But yeah, that's it. Simple, easy. No real length. It took 30 minutes to set up this farm, and as long as you keep shears in here, then you will have an unlimited amount of wool. I mean, and you can go in even and add in a hopper line above all these dispensers, put the lighting somewhere else, and you can have it to where it'll automatically load all the dispensers full of shears for you. You know, you can go crazy with it. Some people I've seen, for instance, Mr. Beardstone, excellent YouTuber. He actually made a wool farm using the same type layout, but he did 16 sheep of every color. So he made this exact little layout type deal 16 times and made a massive wool farm. So you can do this, stack them however you want, and it's amazing. I will actually link the video to his hardcore world that he did that in below. Go give it a look. He's an excellent YouTuber, currently doing a great create world. But that being said, I don't know if he's just standing still or he disappeared on us again. Might need
No, I'm here.
Might need to wake him up, you know.
No, I'm here. I was just feeding my face.
Oh, yeah. And then, yeah. I mean, it's real simple. Oh, and guess what, sheep?
What's that?
Remember when we spawned in on this beach so long ago we went caving?
Mm-hmm.
Our very first caving. Our very first cave into this world.
Wow.
Ah, memories. As a matter of fact, yep. The very first artifact dungeon. Where we got our very first artifact.
You gotta leave it. Okay, I didn't leave anything in there.
I didn't either, but anyway, that's enough for memory lane. I don't want to hear us reminisce about stuff. We'd rather actually have y'all on the server playing with us. So if you want to, reach out, join the Discord. Just links below. And that being said, you know, as I follow him up this cave, I am Toxic Terror 86.
I am the Naked Sheep 13.
You're not the anymore, but you know.
Okay, I'm Naked Sheep 13.
And no, see, I can't shear him. That's why I need this wool farm. But, oh god, he's twerking again. Check out our other series going on, and like, share, leave a comment. Come back and watch more. Hopefully he can, it can be more of the tutorials again. It's a lot funner making these with somebody else than it is doing them alone, so. And I guess he works when he wants to. But alright.
Gotta have my lazy days.
Yeah, I know, right? See y'all later, guys.
Bye.